Hey, welcome back. It's Food News and Chews Radio. Thank you for being with us today. One of my favorite places, not just a shop, but also to eat. I think we all know the fried chicken at Critchfield. It's
you just say the word.
Right. You say fried chicken in this town, people think Critchfield. Mark Critchfield is on the phone with us, and you know the family. There are still Critchfields in Critchfield, right? It's still run by Critchfield, right?
And they do everything, right, Mark? I've seen you in action everywhere, serving the chicken, serving the sides, just about
loading
everything.
Loading
the trucks, washing the dishes.
It's truly a family business. So yeah,
I love it.
Done everything.
How many Critchfields are there left in the business? I know you have like second generation or third generation. How many generations?
We're on our third generations. I have 3 sons in it. I have my nephew Anthony, which is the store manager. And my son Clayton is helping me at my wholesale, and then I have 2 sons, and then I have Anthony's wife, which she's the head baker, and other family will help during the holidays as well. My brother and sisters and whoever I ask will usually chip in.
Well, I got to say, that's music to my ears. That way I've got generations of Critchfields to help service the restaurant, Sylvia. Because, I mean, honestly, I've been a Critchfield customer for 20 years now, whether it was another restaurant or not.
Mostly steaks,
And I got to say, I mean, it is a family business. There's been many days where last minute Mark's dropping off a case of something that I need to get me through the night, which I really appreciate that, especially nowadays, right?
So people think meat for Critchfield. You guys think butcher shop, but... And I've always called it Critchfield Butchers, but it's really more than a butcher shop. I mean, it's a full-service grocery now with the new store on Southland, but don't sleep on the bakery.
The bakery.
The Italian, like, cream cakes and the pies. The pies, I had a pie, a Critchfield pie for my last birthday. It was amazing. The baked goods are off the charts.
Yeah, we make everything from scratch, and, of course, we have, like you said, the fried chicken, and everything on the hot bar is made from scratch. And then we have the grill there, the butcher's grill. You get a hamburger or a ribeye steak sandwich or any kind of special there. So it used to be we're more of a known as a butcher shop, but this has been a dream come true with the family market. So it's been a good journey.
And how about that location? I mean, I love the move to Southland. It's the hot area in town.
Yeah, it's up and coming, and the neighborhood has been well received. So.
How was it changing, like moving from, the original location, or at least the location I always knew, the one in Zandale, to a much larger footprint? Because it didn't, you went from, a store to a market, right? That's the only way I can describe it. It's as big as a supermarket.
Well, where we started from in 1969 was on North Limestone. My dad started that by leasing a meat shop in the back of a hardware store.
Because everybody buys meat in the hardware store.
Right. I love that.
Yeah, so it was Taylor's Grocery and Hardware, and he put a butcher shop in there after being the head meat cutter around town at a lot of places. And he 5 years later, we bought the store, or leased the whole building, and made it a full grocery. And then in 1986, we moved to Zandale. We were there until 2020 of October, and then we opened on Southland Drive in November of 2020.
Well, if you haven't been to Critchfield's, and especially the new location, I think you've been living under a rock, because it's like the place, especially to go. And Mark, you're going to talk about stuff for holidays and things coming up, but I got to get to the meat of this.
Meat?
No pun intended, right
there.
Can we talk about the market? Because I'm a consumer. I think you're going to be one step, maybe 2 or 3 higher up this chain than I am. Can you explain to us what we can expect this holiday season, what we've been through, what we're going through? Show us the way. What's happening with these prices and availability?
Well, actually, I was looking at the pricing compared to last year. And last year, if you remember, all the restaurants were starting to open back up, all of them, and it put a real big strain on the food supply. So I was actually looking. A lot of the beef prices are cheaper than last year.
Really? Well, that's music.
The one thing that's up in short supply is turkey.
Turkey that's real, huh?
That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
The turkey is tight and higher because of the bird flu, and it just
the bird flu is the primary reason then.
Yeah, you're probably the guy to talk to when it comes to this stuff, because like you said, you see it 2-3 steps before any of us.
Where did it hit? Like
Yeah.
Bird flu.
It's hit all over the United States. It's knocked out flocks all over the United States. It got into the chicken, and at one time the chicken market, you saw, Jeremy, how high it got.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now it's starting to get back in the levels it should be.
Good,
So
yeah.
actually, chicken is back at the same prices they were, or maybe even cheaper than last year. Like I said, beef is. But the turkey, it started, I think, in late spring, maybe early winter. The bird flu started hitting. And it takes about 6 months to, get a turkey raised to Tom's size, So that's the reason you're having, I'm going to get my shipment of turkeys. I'll get the number of turkeys. I just won't get the large turkeys.
Oh, large are the big deal, huh?
Yeah, because they didn't get their sets down, what they call their sets, to where they get their growth to get that big. So they didn't get their sets down until maybe August, where it usually takes 6 months to get up to over a 20-pound bird. We're just not going to get anything over 20 pounds. If so, it's going to be very few.
Is this cyclical? I mean, does the avian flu just come? I mean, this is not new.
Is this normal?
Yeah. Is this normal, or
no? I don't think it is normal. It's hit, and it's just one of those things. Just like any other kind of virus, it's out there, but
hit at the wrong time.
So
hit at the wrong time. Right?
The other ill effect of the poultry market, I guess, was eggs, which is it's just a whole other product from a chicken that you don't really. I guess maybe you do think.
I mean,
about
if you got chicken
egg,
problems, you probably got egg problems.
And we do. Yeah.
You do have egg problems. Eggs are probably. Jeremy probably has his. I'd say at least double, if not 3 times higher than they were last year.
See, eggs are already so cheap that
they were
to the consumer. You go, well, it was $1. Now it's $1.89. You don't really know it, but for someone who owns a restaurant
that sells eggs,
right?
A lot of them. Lexington Diner crushes eggs. I mean, we're talking like
breakfast.
15 dozen cases of eggs on a Sunday.
Sure.
So yeah, that really adds up when it's 3 times the cost. And you're right. I think that's the challenge for restaurant operators right now. The things you didn't think about being costly before. The stuff you could be liberal with and not worry about are really expensive
eggs, butter,
now.
milk.
They really
Eggs,
contribute
butter,
to your
milk.
plate
well,
costs.
and butter. Yeah, butter is a big
Cream,
deal,
butter,
apparently.
all that,
But tell me something, Mark. You Google this and everything's in shortage. So I don't know what to even believe. I mean, what about like grocery items? What are you all experiencing? Are you able to get stuff?
We're able to get things. Some of them are being limited at how much we can buy. So like margarine and just different canned goods or box products. I mean, they're just some things are just limited what you can get.
So for the consumer, let me ask you this, because you are, like you said, 2 levels ahead of us on this. So 6 months ago, we started seeing the turkey shortages, and now those are finally being impacted to the consumer because it takes a little while for us to see it. What is the next thing after we get turkey settled? What's going to be the thing in 6 months that we can't get or that you think?
Can you foresee that far ahead?
I'm hearing after Christmas there might be a beef shortage.
Ooh.
And because of the record pricing they were getting, people are flooding the market. And right now there's a shortage of prime beef out there, and you've seen prime beef just go through the roof. Well, usually there might be a $2 or $3 a pound difference between a prime and a choice cut. They're as much as $10 a pound on a prime ribeye right now.
What about
it's crazy.
And that's a big for the consumer again, Jeremy. Is that if you're going to the store and you want to get prime, are you okay getting choice? Would you rather have choice if it's $10 more a pound than prime?
Is that the higher one?
Choice would be $10 cheaper.
Oh, that's what I mean. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I mean.
The other way around.
If choice
Okay.
is $10 cheaper for the consumer, do you opt for that, or is it that good of a difference? Is it still?
It's incredible. I mean, prime is highly selected, highly marbled, and wonderful. But it really depends on the operation you're running because, some of the high end customers that I have. Prime ribeye
they'll know.
is a little fatty and sometimes,
Oh, true.
But,
That's true.
a prime New York strip is absolutely fantastic in terms of marbling and, not too much of that intercostal big stuff, right? So I don't know. I mean, I'm a prime guy because I like full flavored animal fats and meat and corn-fed.
But some
good
people
old,
wouldn't in
some
our
people don't.
restaurants. Yeah,
Right.
in our restaurants. What can consumers do, Mark? What would you advise on turkeys, getting back to turkeys, besides not doing turkey? What if you want a turkey?
You do see that Thanksgiving is becoming more and more non-traditional, getting away from the turkey. A lot of families, even myself, I ate tenderloin last year. I didn't eat turkey.
Yeah.
But I have to have a little bit of turkey. I might get a red meat and then have a turkey breast. But if they don't want turkey, there is other poultry items out there that you can get, whether it be a hen or a pheasant or
goose,
geese or goose or a duck or quail. There's other things that are out there, and we do stock a lot of those things in our store.
And see, that's the difference. Like, you can't just pick that up at a big grocery store. Any of that cool game
and
stuff.
that's what you find at Critchfield.
And I get asked that most than any other question from my customers. It's not like, hey, what's this recipe or whatever, but hey, where can I get some of this?
Sure.
Where do you want rabbit? You're not going to get rabbit anywhere else.
No.
If you're a turkeyophile and you really want a turkey,
I like that word.
what do you do? Do you go early and settle for a small bird? Do they need to put in orders? What do we need to do?
We're taking orders. We have a certain amount of turkeys that we've ordered to come in.
So get in there now, right?
Just best to place your order ahead, and we'll try to reserve a turkey for you. Now, I might order 1,000 fresh turkeys, and I might order a certain amount of different sizes. But when my order comes in, it might be, I might get more heavier, more lighter birds. So, you have to give us a leeway of maybe 2 to 3 pounds one way. Most people, you should figure about a pound of fresh meat per person on turkey. A lot of people come in and want a 25-pound turkey to feed 2 people. It's something they just go overboard. So
they want
a lot
leftovers.
of people can cut back, and they just want they want the leftovers.
When it comes,
if they do, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. When it comes to turkey, I mean to interrupt. Is smaller tastier? Like, what is actually better? Would you rather have one giant bird or 2 smaller birds from an eating perspective?
Instinctively, I say small. Am I right?
I think that what most people would think would be the hen. Anything under 16 pounds is what we consider a hen turkey. And typically, a lot of people think they're going to be more tender. Mm-hmm. I've cooked toms, I've cooked hens, and I'll be honest with you, I can't really tell.
Can't tell.
That's good to know.
Oh, interesting.
Speaking of little tips, as a butcher, okay, you go in there, you didn't order turkey, you forgot to get your turkey. What's a nice little like Mark Critchfield secret of, hey, it used to be, what was it, the hanger steak, or it used to be the
secret
cut.
Yeah, the secret cuts that most people aren't getting. What's the cut you would go, this is what I like?
Well, if I went to Jeremy's restaurant, he nailed it on the head earlier. I would get the prime New York strip. That's my go-to steak every time I go.
That's good.
Prime
there
New
you
York
go.
strip. Now, if you want a good steak that's maybe cheaper, that eats real well, I would go with the top sirloin culotte muscle. And it has real nice marbling. It's probably half the price of the New York strip. And it has real good flavor, and it's usually very tender.
Yeah, that's a real neat cut. It's kind of like an interesting shape, too. Has a little bit of a triangular kind of feel to it. But, Mark, I've never really had any problems cutting those. There's a little bit of a vein, and as long as you kind of slice that the right way, I mean, you can cut that culotte into 2 or 3 really nice sirloin steaks. And
that's what you'd ask for if you went to the counter, because I've gone to the counter before. It's so neat.
It's a great tip.
You have so many great people,
and
that meat is so fresh. So you'd ask for a culotte.
Yeah.
Is that also
top sirloin culotte, yeah.
So is that also like do some people call that the picanha?
Oh, yeah, that would be the South American or Brazilian version, where they kind of skewer it a little bit, kind of half moon shape, and
most
spit
people
roast
use
it.
the tri-tip for that.
Okay.
Tri-tip, yeah, that's good.
Mark, back to the store. You changed from being, you've added a restaurant, you have the hot food counter, you have a lot of things. Is there any particular challenge that you faced in moving to a new location and expanding your kind of, you're a one-stop place. You can have lunch, do your grocery shopping, pick up some fried chicken for tomorrow's picnic. What's the most challenging?
When we first moved in COVID, there was a lot of people that were unemployed. And actually, when we hired to staff our deli, we had probably people we hired that were former managers of restaurants. So we probably were getting people that are overqualified for the position they're in. Now, since everybody, since there's an employment shortage, we've lost some of those people. They've become managers of other restaurants or left. So, your everyday cook and deli people, we're having a hard time filling. And that with stockers and stuff like that, they come and go. So just like everybody, they're having a employment shortage.
Yeah, you're having that. Hey, before Mark, are you distracted? Can you be distracted for a second?
Sure.
Okay. What's the fried chicken recipe?
That was slick. That was
I
slick.
tried. I tried.
Old,
I thought I'd just pull it out of the air. You know.
I bet her dollar.
We rehearsed this too.
Yeah, we did. We rehearsed this.
I mean, you realize that, and we only got like about a minute left, but we got to spend it talking about fried
I
chicken.
know I've got one of the ingredients ready for Mark.
Chicken.
It's crushed up Cheetos.
Oh, it has
Crushed
to
up
be.
Cheetos. There's also dehydrated blueberries in there.
So-
Nobody's ever going to figure this out.
I am someone who's literally taken whole vacations just to eat at what I thought was a good fried chicken place, right?
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
telling
of
you,
course.
My brother.
right? And I'm telling you that I have yet to go anywhere in the country, from New Orleans to New York to
Where
California.
you find Critchfield's chicken.
I have never had chicken that's better. I've never had anyone go, well, I would eat that over Critchfield is still top 1% fried chicken.
I
really
agree.
is.
I agree. Hey, maybe
Well,
some night we can, like, if you're talking your sleep, maybe you'll say that recipe and we can get it recorded.
Well, I got to say, my favorite part is I really appreciate going into a store
too.
and having a meat counter and talking to a butcher. Like, not just somebody that's on the clock, but somebody that,
Yeah.
can kind of guide me through what I want. Or if I'm just in a, kind of kinkery mood and I want 3-inch steak, then go back there and go.
And I've been beside people
with
that
a
like
smile.
that kind of service. Yeah.
Eating a 3-inch steak?
Well, I mean, that'd be more like a roast, wouldn't it?
was
But
gonna
I've been
say.
known to put away plenty of meat.
Well, hey, Mark of Critchfield, thank you
Thank you,
so
Mark.
much for coming and talking to us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
And if you're a stranger to Critchfield, don't be. Go out there and check it out
Oh,
on Southland.
yeah, Southland Drive.
All right, back in a moment. Food News and Choose Radio.